Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome to a bit of Pillars of Eternity. I'm just going to quickly check. I have room, don't I, to do this recording? Yeah. Let's go. So this is going to be the last part I do for about a week, because I'm going to be on holiday. But I will leave you on a very interesting note, as this is a rather important part of the game. Because we're going to the Animancy Hearings. We're not going to do the... well, we might do the old paths of Onua.
As you wish.
But yeah, I just want to check there's no other quests I can really do right now. So, oh, by the way, with this one, with the dragon, as it turns out there were more dialogue options, but my might resolve and my resolve skills weren't high enough, I don't think, so, yeah. I don't know where that is. Oh, I think I know where it is, actually. Yeah, so a lot of this stuff isn't going to unlock until later on in the game. So going to a new app, but we can do that later. So yeah, lots of interesting gaming news has been going on as well, so we'll have to talk about that. So if I do the endless paths, then yeah. News like Disney buying stakes in Epic Games, which goes beyond games because Unreal Engine is... why am I sneaking? Because Unreal Engine goes beyond video games. Just get a grip, there we go. So yeah, so they bought shares. And yeah, it's used massively. It's Unreal 5. It's why I've sort of said that it's actually becoming increasingly difficult to boycott Epic when, you know, because if you're going to boycott Epic, you have to be very serious about it and actually boycott the engine Unreal 5. And if you're not going to do that, then, well, the problem is, though, is that Unreal Engine is used in cars for the UI. It's used in animation, it's used in AI, it's used in all manner of things, like lots and lots of software that you might not think it is, but it's pretty much everywhere.
How fares your search?
There's something I can tell you about the Living Key.
Well, let's hear it.
The Living Key is manipulating a group of Ingwithan machines to span the country, and it seems to be causing the Hollowborn epidemic.
I had feared they might be involved in Widewind's legacy. It seemed too extreme even for them. How naive I've been. The Leaden Key's conspiracy is clear now. They have used Ingwithan technology to engineer Widewind's legacy, and they want people to blame Animancy for it. As we speak, the Duke is holding hearings in the palace. He is listening to arguments for and against Animancy. When they finish, he is expected to decide whether to outlaw it. It seems the Leaden Key has been pushing Deerwood down this path for some time. I, for one, would enjoy seeing their little scheme fouled up at the last moment. Our Duke must hear what you have to say. Unfortunately, the hearings are closed to the public, which makes the Duke inaccessible until they are completed. However, certain groups have been invited to attend. You might get in with one of them if you aren't above a little pandering. There are delegations from the Knights of the Crucible, the Dozens, and from House Dominel. If you can gain the support of one of those groups, that may be your best way in. See what you can arrange.
I want to discuss the Animancy Hearings in the palace.
What of them?
Wouldn't they allow a guest to Dunreed Row into the hearings?
We would only do that as a last resort. Walking in with one of the 3 invited groups puts you in a position of influence. Walking in alone as a representative of Dunreed Row would earn you distrust among all the rest. It seems our organization has a reputation for nosiness and manipulation, for whatever reason. It would be best if people did not see Dunreed Row's hand in this. Easier for them to embrace the truth.
What is there to know about the Duke?
Avar is many things to many people, and that is why he sits the throne. To the frontiersmen, he is one of their own. To the patriotic, he is a sole descendant of Admeth Hadrit. To the nobility, he is from an old and established family. All of these are half-truths or exaggerations, a tale he has spun around himself. The man behind the tale may not be the greatest mind in Deerwood, but he knows people. He knows when they are sincere and when they lie. He knows when they are strong and when they are weak. The other matters he leaves to me. Outwardly, he prefers to come off a bit of a simpleton. Don't be fooled. Before he was a duke, he was a trapper, and an excellent one at that.
So, we have to join one of the factions, and unfortunately I think it might be looking like the dozens. Who I don't really want to. I get that they're revolutionaries, they have all these great ideas, but I think Adir's right about they don't have a fucking clue. They don't quite get it.
Walk unseen.
Revolution is not as quick and easy as they want it to be. I think they have a very romantic view of things. Excuse me. The Crucible Knights, on the other hand, I think are going about things wrong with the with animated knights.
I think I see something.
Excuse me. But excuse me. But yeah, I think I think they're the only ones who can really maintain or establish or maintain order for a while. So yeah. So I'll side with them reluctantly. If I can. If not, I'll have to be the dozens. But I think I'm too friendly with the dozens right now. So yeah. We shall see. Let's have a look for these missing guards, because I know that was a task that we'd given before. So we'll just keep looking around for them and just hope that we find some sign of them. So yeah. What else? Oh yeah, there's a Discworld game, or the sequel, I think, that's about to be made. I love the Discworld books, my dad loves them as well, he loves reading them. But the problem is, King Charles owns the rights to, he owns like 50% of the takings, or he owns like half of the intellectual property. So, I don't know the exact details, but that's what I've just glimpsed on PC Gamer. Which is a shame, really. Because, yeah, I think it's like something like Death of the Author. I think it's the whole idea of Death of the Author. When the author's passed on, the Crown takes like 50% of the earnings or whatever. Yeah. Or something like that, I'm not entirely sure. You wouldn't think that I was a journalist, would you? Then again, actually, with the way the state of gaming, I'd say, yeah, it probably is. Probably would. So yeah. Toys for Bob staff have been let go. 89 employees have been let go from Toys for Bob, the makers of the Spyro Reignited trilogy, and the best Skylanders games, except for Swap Force, which was done by Vicarious Visions, although I didn't like Trap Team very much either. But yeah, My thoughts go out to the developers. A lot of people are shitting on Microsoft for this, and it's like, well, no, this would have happened anyway. It's like, one, it's a merger. Like this is what happens. Sorry, but you have to take the losses because like Microsoft doesn't have any need for a lot of the people who are already doing the things that Toys for Bob are anyway. Not to mention as well that Activision lays people off consistently every year to save money on the books. You know that. March is coming up, and that's when they count the money. Was this open to us before? I don't think it was. I know one of these was. So they're enthralled. Oh, goody. Woman turns when you enter. Her wide pale eyes shine like lamps in the darkness of the tomb. All crucible knights hover nearby, their glazed expressions fixed on her. Reinforcements at last. I hope you've come armed, because we've got to get out of here. Something about her hazy and unsubstantial. It seems hazy and unsubstantial, even in the darkness of the tomb. What are these soldiers doing here? She looks at them, but either she doesn't notice their distant gazes or the way they sway on their feet, or thinks nothing of it. They're under my command, of course. They heard my call, and we've been waiting around a few more to fight our way out of here. How did they manage to hear you in this tomb? I hope you're not questioning my command. I'm warning you, I don't tolerate insubordination, at all. And if you've caught your breath, we should move on out. What are you doing here? I came searching for survivors. Only too late did I realize there weren't any. I found myself surrounded by those creatures outside, and I had to seek refuge. Funny, isn't it, to hide from the dead in a building that was meant to hold them in the first place? Anyway, I've been waiting for more reinforcements. Who are you? Commander of the Crucible Knights. I lead the militia stationed in Heritage Hill. Securing this district became my responsibility when this, whatever is, happened. I hate to be the one to tell you this, but you're already dead. You better explain yourself, and quickly. You're a ghost, and you've been luring the Crucible Knights to their deaths. No. No, that's impossible. I've only been... I can't be. What have you done to me? Vicious! Attack! So I'm guessing these are... In fact, let's see if we can attack her instead. Fix all attacks on there instead. Yeah, I don't really want to do anything that's going to attack them. I'll want the guards to stay alive. Oh, okay, right, so that's just it then, is it? We can't save them. Well, that's a bit disappointing, isn't it? I was hoping that we could just lift the curse, everything would be hunky-dory. But no.
Keeping an eye out.
So, well, that's done. We can move on. And we could report to the Crucible Knights. Hey! That was good. I knew I had to come here for a reason, I just couldn't remember exactly why. Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah, my thoughts go to Toys for Bob. The thing is now, is that Toys for Bob are now basically in the 3D platform graveyard, because we've had Banjo-Kazooie, that's not going to get a game. Like, Crash Bandicoot might get a game, after Crash Bandicoot 4, and that was under fucking Activision. Just think about that. That was Activision. So that's not very optimistic, is it? The Banjo-Kazooie hasn't had a game yet since Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, which is a great game on its own. But Crash Bandicoot 4, we get an official sequel. before Banjo-Kazooie. I'm just thinking like, well, that's it then. You know? And it would have been great for Microsoft to say, right, Rare, we want you to make Banjo-Kazooie. Because we want to show people, we want to get people hyped up for the next Spyro game. We want Spyro 4. Bring it. You know? Let's do it. You know? The same, like, and yeah, like, let's get people hyped for Crash Bandicoot 5. Let's have a whole new trilogy. But they didn't do that. Microsoft just... and this is what I always say about Microsoft. Like, Sony are interested in Sony are interested in talent. They want the people who make games, make good games, and, you know how to do a lot of good things. Microsoft are just interested in talent, in intellectual property. That's all they want. They don't actually care about the quality of the games. Which is evidenced by like the fact that their flagship IP, Halo, has just been spinning its tires for what, 3 years now? It's absolutely appalling. You know? So it doesn't spell much good for
Nice and quiet.
for Spyro, but I'm not gonna lie, this was going to happen anyway. I really hate to say it, but yeah. Where do I need to go? Is everyone in bed? Are they all hooked up? Are they up here? So yeah, so it's not looking good. Why am I sneaking? I'm sorry. I've been playing Divinity Original Sin 2 lately. And so I'm using the different controls. I understand that the Crucible Knights are attending the Animancy Hearings of the Palace.
Indeed. Duke Avar looks to the Knights for prudent counsel as well as defense. I suspect our future as a city and a nation will depend in no small part on how we handle this matter.
What do you think about Animancy? Be fools not to investigate it further. I've seen what those researchers in Brackenbury can do. Building constructs, diagnosing solar melodies, harnessing raw essence. There's great potential. Detractors say it's too dangerous, that it angers the gods. Superstition and nonsense. There are risks to delving into souls, of course, but the greater risk lies with doing nothing at all while the legacy waits away at us. I agree. Inaction is possibly the worst thing you can do in most scenarios in life. Tell me about the hearings. They're progressing slower than I'd like. The dozens raise a ruckus whenever anyone so much mentions Animancy. The Dwarven are obfuscating matters on purpose. Nevertheless, I'm confident Avar will see reason eventually. I need an audience with Duke Avar. I'd like to attend the hearings. As a guest of the Knights? Given your ties to those troublemakers at the Expedition Hall, I'm afraid that's out of the question. But there's something else I can do for you. I appreciate your help in retrieving the Fortunate research, but I still need the plans to deliver to the High Justice Courier. I'm afraid I can't address anything else until it's taken care of. However, it's been brought to my attention the irregulars are the dozens. I'm sure that further associates... Fucking... So I've got to work with the dozens now, because I did the quest in a different order. Okay, fine, fair enough, I'm a completionist. And, that's what it's cost me. I really just wish that I hadn't actually signed up with them. So I guess I'm going to have to go in on behalf of the dozens, and you know what, I'm just going to probably screw up their position by saying, no, I advocate for this thing. Regards for charm of the spirit of a woman named Lyra. I have managed to get rid of her. By the flame, you found her! My missing commander! And she was calling to the watchful beyond the grave. It doesn't make sense, but nothing like in a cursed district does. Up to the soldiers under a spell. They didn't make it. Well, let's see. Nevertheless, thank you for your help. You've left me with many questions. You left me with as many questions as answers, but at least know what happened to my troops. And Commander Lear. Please accept this as a token of my gratitude. So, what's our reputation now? Knight of the Crucible. I'm a hero. Okay, so we're both on the same reputation. Here's hoping I can improve my reputation enough. I have to improve my reputation enough to do this. I just hope this isn't a point of no return, because I really want to side with the Crucible Knight. But yeah. Regarding Toys for Bob, though, I really do feel for the developers, but I can't entirely blame Microsoft for this one. This is entirely on Activision. This is what happens. This is what they do. They hire too many people, and then they let go of them to make up the numbers. And I'm sorry, but that's how this works now. It's always worked this way. Oh, God, no. I'm with the Animancers. No, I'm sorry, I'm with the Dozens. Oh, well, I'm a priest. Let's see how this goes. Oh, God. I think I started with the Crucible Knights before. So yeah, only if you piss off all three factions do you get to go with Dearwood Rose. Company. So it's basically making sure that you can't fail a quest. Because they themselves aren't a faction. If you notice here, they're not in your list of factions. Different village is different. How much money do I have as well? 12,000, okay. What do I need to do with my stronghold as well? Okay, any construction that I need to do? 1 day and 20 minutes, okay, that's fine. So yes, the Animancy Hearings are very important to our character. Well, to the story, because we get to decide how Animancy is going to go on. Animancy being the study and manipulation of the soul, dealing with the very art of reincarnation itself. I honestly, I think it's a fantastic thing. I really do love it. And I really do like the parallels it draws to like Mary Shelley and all the like, you know, like ancient science fiction. I say ancient historical science fiction. Very good. Yeah, I haven't heard anything new about Avowed, or Pillars of Eternity 3 or anything like that. So yeah, I have learned, however, that in Pillars of Eternity 2, the AI behaviors are considerably better. So that's something I can look forward to. So the Dozens are part of the Animancy Hearings of the Ducal Palace.
Someone's got to keep the blazing Crucible Knights from leading us all to ruin, and the Dominels certainly aren't doing their part. But Wolfgren's still a man of the people. He's always been sensible in other matters. He'll hear us out eventually.
What are your thoughts on Animancy? It'll be our downfall if we let it. Kith weren't meant to meddle in matters of the soul, and it's only fools that can't see it, or troublemakers that won't. I suspect we've got more than a few of those vying for the Duke's ear. Cheats and frauds looking for a profit from disaster. How are the hearings going? Morley tells me it's a rough fight. The Duke's looking for any means he can to combat the legacy, and everyone knows the Knights are working on him in the background. As for the Dwarvenels, I can't say what they're up to. Probably taking crime from the Knights to keep this whole farce going. I was hoping to attend the Animancy Hearings with the Dozens. It'll be good to have you out there under our banner. Someone's got to convince the Duke of this folly. I could be deceptive, but that's not a thing that I want, so I'm just going to say the Duke will hear the truth about Animancy. And I like that as an option as well, so you don't just have to say I agree or I agree. You can go for a neutral option and say the Duke will hear about the truth about Animancy. And what I believe is the truth is this. I can't remember, I think it was probably Oscar Wilde who said it, or Mark Twain who said there's your side, there's my side, and then there's the truth. Yeah, which I like that one. Yeah, there's also like lies, damn lies, and statistics as well. Or Stuart Lee as well, you can prove anything with facts, can't you? To the Ducal Palace, I think we go. No. Shit, we're going the wrong way. Shit. I think we have to go back. Go back, we've got to go back! Yeah, tell Lady Webb. Oh, God, okay. That's fine. We've only lost a few minutes, though, it's alright. Back and break. Great. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm liking Pillars of Eternity. I've been liking Divinity Original Sin as well. Some of my criticisms of it sort of still remain. The thing I like the least about it continues to be how slow it is. Larian games are not quick. They don't care for the player's time at all. I like that you can save the game at any point, even in combat, so it's good that you can just pick up the game at any time. But that's kind of like out of necessity. But like things like being able to move via the minimap, you can't do. You know, speeding up character movement, you can't do. You know, you can increase the amount you can move in your turn in the turn-based combat, but you can't really move any faster outside of combat. Yeah, and as well, it's the kind of game that requires a lot of micromanagement. The game is played through the environment. You have to be able. The object placement is absolutely key. So yeah. If I'm going to do this for you, I think it's time I told you everything about Theos.
I've told you everything you need to know.
But not everything.
It's only right that you know everything. When I was younger, before Dunreed Road, I had many suitors. These were fine-looking men of good stock. But I could see their thoughts, and they were unimpressive. Boys' thoughts. I toyed with their affections. I resented all of them. And then I met a man whose mind was a mystery to me. But he understood me. He knew me at a glance, told me things I didn't know about myself. He was neither handsome nor charming, but he was all I ever wanted.
Theos.
We made a game of my gift. He would ask me about people, and I would tell him what they were thinking. Sometimes the information was very sensitive. And then one day he asked me if I trusted him. I said I did. Next I knew I was donning a silver mask and swearing oaths to Woodica. Using my gift for the leaden key still felt like a game to me, so I did it. I did it because it pleased him. I don't like living in the dark. It's a powerless, hopeless feeling. Every day I did things without knowing their purpose. Every day I loved a man without knowing his thoughts of me. I sensed that there were things he wanted to tell me. I sensed that he knew everything the leaden key was created to hide. But Theos was unyielding. One day I disappeared without a word. He would kill me for it, and I knew that. It's their rule. I just wanted to see him plunge the knife, because then I would know. But the day never came. He has left me to wonder. I have devoted my years to learning everything I could about him, in hopes I would find some clue as to who he really was, and why he felt he had to keep his secrets locked away. I have precious little to show for it. Just an old woman nagged by old thoughts. And that is truly everything I can tell you about Theos. I hope you will accept this embarrassing story as a show of my good faith. Yes?
I want to discuss the Animancy Hearings of the Palace.
What of them?
The dozens have accepted me into their delegation.
Of all the groups, it is the dozens that the Duke fears most. If you have their ear, you will most certainly have Avar's. You need waste no more time here. Get to the palace. Make your case to the Duke. With him on our side, all of Deerwood can be mobilized against the Leaden Key, and Theos can be rooted out. I only wish I could be there to see it. There is a very old bottle of a very good brandy that I have been saving for a special day. If you hurry back afterward, there may be a little left for you. Off with you. You're going to do very well in there. Yes?
Okay. The dozens are a means to an end for me. This playthrough. We're going to tell them the truth about Animancy. Yeah, I want to know everyone else's feelings on Animancy. Yay or nay? Preferably without spoilers, because there is kind of a big deal to Pillar's story. That kind of affects my views on it. Yeah, it's like the whole idea of the ending. Or near the end. So yeah. But now I think Animancy is too important a topic to go undebated. And unseen and unknown. Shh. Oh, don't cry. A second. And I'm back, and I haven't paused the game. So, how much time has passed? None. Great.
Keeping an eye out.
So apparently we've got a balcony. Up here. Ooh. Nice. Are we ready to attend at the hearings? Good luck, everybody. The room below is animated amidst a heated debate. All the representative groups are easily discerned in the crowd. Risible knights, stiff in their noisy armour, sit in one section. In another are the well-dressed members of House Duermanel, casual, watching with a predator's instinct. Elsewhere are the ramshackle dozens, who made no special effort to dress up for their liege lord. Interspersed are animancers and academics' robes, Animals in their academic robes with expressions of the sorrow. So yeah, really crowded out. Total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. I mean, like, I know the limitations of the tech, but they have not made more of an effort for one of the most important scenes in the game.
Well then, answer me this, Master Barash. If you Animancers represent our best hope to cure the legacy, what progress can you demonstrate?
As I've said, it isn't about progress, it's about potential.
Appreciate that 100%. But I will say this: potential is the word I most hate seeing and refuse. The game has potential, yeah. Everything has potential. It has the potential to be good. It has the potential to be bad. It's the term Robert's razor. It's just one of the laziest. It's one of the most intellectually lazy responses you could say about anything if it has potential. Oh, sorry. Here's the crowds. Here, these 4 people on the benches. Yeah, it's like, no, I don't care about what the game could be or is going to be. I care about what it is now. That's what I'm paying money for. So I sort of agree with them here.
My house would agree, Your Grace. We see great potential in its future.
And I suppose your blazing profits during the legacy don't have nothing to do with that, do they, Dominel? You can't have it both ways no more. Animancy goes, or this country goes.
So you admit, Master Barask, that Animancy is no closer to stopping the legacy than it ever was.
No, we've had many promising experiments. Cadman Azo has shown...
Cadman Azo murdered a child. For a complete failure. We should be hanging him right now for what he done. The dozens won't stand for it.
The experiment failed, yes, but his work...
It was sabotaged.
Ah, our new delegate from the dozens. What makes you say sabotage?
I met a false patient in Brackenbury Sanitarium who had tampered with Azo's machinery.
The fuck's that even matter? These are people who would toy with the lives of our children.
Indeed. Even assuming there was sabotage, is this Animancer Azo not still accountable here?
This is not the Bell Reach incident. This is a responsible scientist who was manipulated. How can you call him responsible? You saw the state of the sanitarium.
Horseshit. These Animancers can't be trusted. Look at what happened in Heritage Hill. Our supposed protectors from Crucible Keep can't even clean up the messes Animancy leaves.
Are you sure this is your delegate, Adric?
You won't be for long making claims like that.
Your Grace, we'd have a much easier time of it if our knights weren't so occupied trying to keep their organization from igniting a revolution on our very doorstep.
Heritage Hill is blood on your hands, Justiciar. You turn a blind eye and look what happens.
I have been to the Heritage Hill since the quarantine. Though the knights were unable to control the damage, it was not Animancy, but an ancient machine that caused it. Also, the Crucible Knights are blameless here.
You've some strange taste in travels, friend. The height of your tales expands with every breath.
My word is my oath. I challenge anyone here to find someone who knows different.
I had heard whispers of a new delegate set to attend today's hearing. I admit that your candor was mentioned more than once. Tell us what you saw in Heritage Hill.
Tyrnoneth houses an Ingwithan machine that holds dominion over the flow of souls. It was this machine that made the district undead. Do you think that was what was the machine's purpose? Which is a dire side effect. But then, why would the Ingwithans build such a machine at all?
Even if it is as you say, we have testimony that a group of Animancers had been spending time there. Surely their tinkering had something to do with this.
Their presence doesn't prove cause. This testimony is not evidence, it is a guess.
Animancy has many enemies. You need only look around this room to see it.
You're missing the point.
Everywhere there's animancers, there's disaster.
I do like how Edric Morley's voice actor is just chewing up the scenery. He's loving this. And rightly so, like he is correctly conveying the emotion that someone in this station should be. The dozens are about passionate people. No one has more passion than the dozens. And he's so desperate to believe that this is the reason why this is all going on. So I love their voice acting and their direction. Bravo.
We all know what Widewind's legacy's really about. And it ain't about some sparkling saint from Creed Ceres who's mad because he took a stroll down the wrong bridge. It's about a bunch of so-called intellectuals fucking with the natural order while the rest of us gotta suffer for it.
Is it, though? Should we not take the time to reach a clear conclusion? I mean, what proof do we have?
My son and daughter are buried beneath the floor of my house. We don't own no land, so that's where we lay them. My son. My wife let him slip when she was bathing him. Got water in his lungs, he couldn't cough up. My daughter? We put her to bed one night, and the next morning she wasn't breathing. This Hollowborn thing, it ain't ending. And it ain't ending because we still let these charlatans play God. There's your proof, you damn copper fucker!
Enough, Adric. Lady Dominel makes a point. If it's animancy, then why do the other states that permit the practice not suffer the same fate? Who among us can say he truly understands why the legacy has taken hold here?
I can. Grab against the matter, and the sound taking a doubtful character. Widewind's legacy is the creation of the Leaden Key. Key and Menezo's downfall was their work, as was the Tower and Heritage Hill. They want you to do this. They want Animancy to fall. The dull muttering expands into a din of skepticism. Also, I like this. I have seen them in the ruins of Erlandfirth, operating machines that disrupt and redirect the flow of souls, near towns like Gildefale and Deerfoot, where the legacy is universal. As a watcher, I have heard the dead confess their plot, of stealing the souls of the unborn.
Beasts. Another lunatic at the hearing. Did you remember to lock your sanitarium before you left, Master Barask?
You shame you are right about dismissing the truth before hearing it, madam. I expect better from a knight of the Crucible. I'll go with rational. If that can I? Oh, I can't see my stats. I'll just say now, in Divinity Original Sin 2, in the middle of dialogue, you'd actually open up your character sheet and just see, because you have to base some persuasion checks based on your skill. So the highlights, you need persuasion, but you also need other stats like strength, finesse, wits, memory, that sort of thing. And depending on how high those are, you can improve your skills. So it's good to be able to open up your character and do that. I don't know which of my dispositions is better. So I'm going to say rational. If, as the Duke says, no theory has more proof than any other, what is the harm of hearing one more?
You must know, friend, that the Leaden Key is a mantle for small-time ruffians and children at play. I'm not saying you're a liar. Not yet. But you'd better start making sense of all this. Help us believe you.
Of course. What's more likely? The gods are destroying Deerwood for a science practice in many parts of the world, or the group of people hates animancy and want it repressed? Let's say a lord is called by his wife. If he tells her to stop, she'll only want her lover more. But if he spreads a rumour that her lover has just visited the brothel and quite a pox on his loins, she'll land it on her own. I love it, it's brilliant. If you know anything about me, you know this. I have been called many things, but never a liar. An honest witness is the best piece of evidence you have in this matter.
The only piece of evidence.
The only piece of evidence that doesn't send your kind to the gallows, you mean?
You've made an unexpected case, friend. I'll say that much. It seems we have a new possibility to consider, at the very least. How was it you came to learn all this?
I'm not going to say the dozens. I'm going to say I took a personal interest in the matter and tried to learn what I could.
Indeed. This land is foreign to you, unless I miss my guess. Your efforts on its behalf are to be commended.
And I think there needs to be another, less passionate voice among this crowd.
But these hearings are about more than Widewind's legacy, even though that is our most pressing concern. Let's say for the moment that I were to take you at your word that our friends in Brackenbury Sanitarium and their peers bear no responsibility for this curse upon my country. I'm curious, what would you do if you were in my position?
Let's have a look at the options. I would allow Animancers to continue their work. They explore questions we all wish to understand. If we know more, perhaps this crisis could have been averted. Animancy should be studied in Deerwood. If you don't, someone else will, and they will wield great power over you. Yeah. She says, Animancers serve their own ambitions and their own purposes. Giving them this power is like setting a child loose in an armory.
Very well. That is all I wish to hear. Not just from you, but from everyone. Many days we've been at this. It is time we put it to rest. I want to thank the delegations for helping me to collect my thoughts. In particular, I want to thank our new delegate, who has given me much to think about, and who alerted me to a new enemy I had failed to see. The time has come to choose a direction for the Deerwood. I am ready to make my pronouncement. Ramir de Barash, representing the interests of Animancers in Deerwood, step forward.
Your Grace.
It occurs to me now that my concerns about Animancy may not outweigh its value.
Forgive me, Your Grace. We will accept no judgment but our own.
What's he doing?
No, wait!
Stop this! At once!
I've given you every chance to end this pursuit. Shall I end it for you?
You can try.
Another time. I am already late. Shall I end it for you?
I am already at peace, Grand Inquisitor. Are you?
So
I shall be discreet.
A blade in the dark.
Sorry, but I was muted that entire time. Basically, just reading that story at the bottom corner. If you want to go back and read it, you can. Basically, that young lady on the rack was being denied her soul, denied the ability to reincarnate through the eternal prison, whatever that is. That's most interesting indeed. I'm sorry for skipping, I didn't mean to. But Jesus, even they keep us under attack. Sorry, Charlie. Okay, now. It's all very, very bad. How do we get out of here anyway? Was there literally no way out? It wasn't let me go out Brackenbury way. Can I go this way? Or is it just the point of like, no, you can't go through the streets, you gotta go through a different way? Oh no, there we go. No world map, we just go straight there. Loving the random dramatic stings of music there. Hang on. Save the game. Oh no, the sanitarium's burned down. Well, there goes years of Animancy research that could have actually helped with the legacy and a great many other things. All you've done now is just assured that all of that stuff that has happened has had to happen again. Wonder how the terminals are. Yeah, I don't want to take the bruiser.
So much for you.
Nice.
What is it? As you wish. Well?
Yeah.
Good day, stranger.
I recognize you. You were the one at the hearing. Weren't you with the dozens? I was. The things I heard at the hearing today, though. I had it all backwards. If it was good enough for the Duke, it was good enough for me. I don't care if an Animancy did kill him. It doesn't mean we're gonna hold him more responsible. This isn't what we're supposed to be about. What are you just doing? I got a few Animancers out of the building out through the back. One of them didn't make it, though. Get out of sight. Figure this thing out. Good luck, friend. I like this. I really like that. The idea that actually there are dozens out there who want to help, or whatever side you're on, you know? It adds nuance. Yeah, not everyone just believes this one thing. You know? Obsidian do it really well. The idea that, like, yeah, not everyone really thinks the same. Oh, shit. This ain't good. Done read a row. That was the one, not DF a row. Done read a row. Yeah, if this place has been attacked. I mean, ciphers as well. There's no harm in the place now. Oh god, this ain't good. Let's have a look. Let's get going. Oh no.
I can do that. As requested.
Lady Web lies still in her bed, on an egg cushion propping her back upright. The blood pools beneath the gash in her chest is tacky and nearly dry. A shattered glass rests on the floor beneath her dangling hand. Feel the faint aura of her fading essence in your can. Reach out for it. You make contact and are immersed with a torrent of sensory input and experience. When it calms, you find yourself in the same room, lying in the bed with a glass of brandy in your hand. Through the walls and the streets outside come the sounds of screams and shattering glass and the cacophony of an angry mob. You take a sip and it warms your gullet. Across the room, the door opens behind a patient. A steady push. Into the room walks Theos, the floorboards creaking beneath deliberate steps. You wait until the last of the brandy is scuttled down your throat before you sleep.
I was a fool to think I could tame these people.
You came closer than most.
A fine epitaph.
No worse than any.
You're concentrating, forcing with all your energy. It feels as though you're diving into a stone wall over and over again, but it cracks suddenly, unexpectedly, allowing you to the vaguest wisp of a thought to leak through. What's in Twin Elms?
Did you pull that from my thoughts?
I've had time to practice.
Ah.
He walks over to a small table and raises a half-empty brandy bottle to eye level. He seems to approve of the selection and begins to reach for an empty glass. I was saving that for someone.
Pity. You know this is how it has to be.
His words come freely, absent of all doubt. He draws a long, curved knife from his belt smeared with fresh blood. With his left hand, he gently pins your sternum, as he raises the knife in the other, its point dangling above your heart.
Prove it.
There slips the knife between your ribs and pushes it through. Layers of tissue separate from brittle, papery stiffness, and blood wells up around the blade. A pulse or reflex causes you to drop the glass to the floor, and hear it shatter. With the last of your strength, you take his knife in both of yours. A question radiant in your mind. For an instant, to your great surprise, the pathway to his mind is left open to you, unguarded, and the answer comes. Simple, cataclysmic in its reordering of your thoughts. As Lady Webb, you feel as though you have an answer you've searched for your whole life, but in your mind, her understanding lies just beyond your reach. You look at Theos with wide eyes as someone seeing for the first time, and draw your last breath as black, velvety darkness surrounds you, or descends over you.
Smoke rises above the city walls in billowing plumes that blacken the sky like a storm. Behind the walls, the riots rage on. Known patrons of Animancy are forced into hiding as looters ransack their estates and make off with their possessions. Animancers are torn away from their families, removed from their homes to be stoned to death in the streets. Word had spread immediately that Duke Avar had been assassinated, and that an Animancer was to blame. The city wasted little time in exacting revenge, and little effort into evaluating guilt. In the center of it all, Brackenberry Sanitarium burned. And down the lane, Hodred House, the last bastion of stability in the Deerwood, had fallen silent. Now safely outside the city gate, your path points eastward to Twin Elms, where Theos is bound, for reasons that remain mysterious as the Leaden Key itself.
So, it seems as though the few people who did know about the Leaden Key are now dead, as the riots broke out. As you cross the bridge, Eleth draws up beside you. The fires of Divine's Bay cast a shivering, flickering light across half of his face. The other is in darkness.
Please stop. I need to tell you something.
Go ahead.
I have not been entirely honest about my motives for traveling with you up to this point. When I finished my training in Adir, I was introduced to an organization. All I knew was that they were opposed to the unchecked spread of Animancy, and that they could guarantee me postings far away from the Seathwood my father and his Earl. At that time, it was enough.
Okay.
In the early years, I thought of them as many things. Hooded men, prudent teachers, the Leaden Key. Their rules were strict, but their guidance was clear. I sincerely believed they wanted to keep Kith from the folly of their own foolish ambitions. I came to the Deerwood a little over a year ago. My orders were to gather information on Animancy in the region. A senior contact met with me every few months to receive my reports and issue new leads. She sent me to Gilded Vale to keep an eye on events surrounding the local lord, but I lost track of her shortly after that. I don't know if she was reassigned, killed, or sacrificed the way you saw. At the time you met me, I'd been on my own for a couple of months.
You knew I was coming.
I couldn't have. I'd been out of contact with my superiors for months. I needed some kind of direction. After that scrape with the locals, I was ready to get out of town. But then you mentioned the ruins, but you refused to tell me what you'd seen. I was sure then that it had something to do with the Leaden Key. And I was correct in a way. What we found wasn't what I expected. I knew the Leaden Key was trying to stop Animancy, but I didn't realize how far they'd gone. Murder, sabotage, abandoning entire districts to shambling horrors. And now the whole city is up in flames.
So Aeloth was part of the Leaden Key.
I'm still not sure about Animancy, but I know I've been following the wrong master. Please, accept my apology, and my service. Let me fight with you to stop Theos.
Okay. I could just say apology accepted, but I might go for option 3. I forgive you, Aeloth, but I want you beside me, not behind me. I'm not asking you to trade one master for another.
That would be an honor.
Before we go, I'd like to discuss a few things. About your parents. Where was your mother gone so often? She was invited to join a hymn where they landed there when I was very young. The state was a 5-day ride from our home in the Seathwood, so that was part of it. The real issue, however, was my father. Despite his initial agreement with the arrangement, father was never happy with it. He would hound and harangue my mother when she was home. He wanted to know that whether she was intimate with the Thane, and no matter how many times she swore she wasn't, it was never enough. As you can imagine, that led to her coming home much less often than even though she still supported us financially. Sound like your father had a problem with his temper. He had a problem with my mother's home, even though they agreed upon it a long time ago that the financial benefits would be considerable, that it was little different from his role as an elf steward. It aided him, so he drank and raged. When she was home, he raged at her, and when she wasn't, he raged at me. More than I think he wanted me to become an arcane knight in the service of his earl. I think he felt this would validate his chosen career as master. He was a fair man, you see, as you saw, but in the end I became a successful wizard, due in no small part due to his strictness. I was a Heimnig, a ceremonial marriage between folk and elf. Because the Aedir mainland has historically been split between the two races, we have had many institutions that are designed to normalize relations. Our monarchy is headed by folk, but an elven consort rules alongside the reigning Forquening or Mequeen. Mequeen is the most prominent example of a Heimnig. In many cases, a Heimnig allows two households to pool resources. Among aristocracy, Heimnigs consolidate power. Sometimes, as in my mother's case, a Heimnig is a means for a noble to add another administrator to his or her household. Consorts are received with almost the same level of respect as their noble counterparts, which can be extremely useful. Of course, Heimnigs are sometimes used to sanitize an extramarital affair. He shrugs. I don't know if that's really any better, but it seems to satisfy common notions of decency. And elf and folk unions are sterile, which no doubt eases some concerns. That's all there is to know. What did I just ask then? So, now I want to understand a bit more than this, Ulmir. No thanks to that Animancer. My spleen? Bile? Come on. Bellassige's methods were flawed. You still learned something, didn't you? Well, because you and I have the look of good sense between us. But the average person, show them a shiny gadget in the hands of an expert, and they'll believe anything. Not necessarily, most people have more sense than that. You still believe that after all you've seen? Must be nice. How exactly did you come to join the Leaden Key? As it often is with such follies, I was young and directionless. The Leaden Key promised some of the structure I was lacking, and there would be a future far removed from the service of my father's earl. That's how a lot of cults operate. They can give people a purpose, a structure, something to do, essentially. Make them believe. It's how a lot of conspiracy theories happen as well. Like, people are so comfortable that they just come up with these wild ideas because their lives are so boring. It's how they get into this, and it's how they become part of something bigger. And if it takes flight, then, well, yeah, people really buy into it. Animancy is possibly even more controversial in Aedir than it is here. Pratchett's been outlawed for 600 years by prohibition as a way of breeding curiosity. A success and relative acceptance that Animancy has found here and the Valley Republic sped a renewed interest in Aedir. Leaden Key began recruiting more aggressively, and I was in the final period of my training when one of my instructors reached out to me. As I said, it was a welcome departure from my father's plans. And after seeing a few of my colleagues abandon their studies in magic to pursue Animancy and the Republics, I was convinced that something needed to be done to stop the spread. Okay. So, we've heard a lot of thoughts on Animancy. So that's good. So now we can go to Twin Elms. So I think for this time, this place will be drained, and we can explore. We can make our way to Twin Elms. Because I don't think there's much else that we need to see. So yeah, but we can now do the White March. And this is the sort of part of the game where I'm afraid to say it is kind of rushed. Like we're now in like the next act, like Act 3. And yeah. It's kinda cack. It's like it's evidently like this was like where they run out of time and budget. Like not to shit on the game or whatever, but it's like it is true. The money went at this stage.
Say what you want about Dear Woodens, but they haven't met the problem yet they couldn't solve by killing some scapegoats.
You fight for people because you see something there that deserves defending, even more so because someone you trust sees it too. Then you turn around and they do something like this, and well, the person who made you want to help them is gone. They're doing what they think. Gospel. They're doing what they think they got for them. It's nice that they mean well, but how can organize murder with their best guess? Although, come to think of it, maybe they're just following Rodney's example. He was purging his own long before Deerwood got the idea. Only he was purging because they weren't really Athosian enough. Never thought I'd find myself missing the hospitality back home. I must bring just remember I must bring Durance along as well. Yeah, so now the tide's gone out, we can go to Spa. He arrives at last. Well. Finally. You should have remained at Defiance Bay. I'm glad that you didn't have a better sense. I've looked forward to this since you got in our way. Any last words? After all the effort you mustered, you must be ashamed to end it quickly. I'm gonna stay silent. Nothing? You mocked the Medinki for the last time. Try to win this. No, I want you all to get back in the fight. I want to run away.
Following your lead.
What else we got? Or wasn't that fun? Yeah. +3 might. Tome, not bad at all.
Of course.
Right. Yeah, so... Go drop a fireball on him. Yeah, you see what I mean about these things being the worst? They just charm everything.
Wish I could have done something.
Screams of the rock. That was helpful. What? So many pointless little hints here. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have a bit of flavour and whatnot, but... Still. Let's drop some heavy stuff down. Alright, now I'm back, okay. The Galeoth was just stuck over there. Oh, there's a cave. Clear out some of this fucking wall. Let's see. So we can do the third act. We can do like the White March Part 2 soon. But before that, I want to do like Odnur and hopefully complete Odnur. But that might be for a while yet. Get some other stuff done, the White March, then finish the game. What level am I at anyway? Let's just have a quick look at something as well. I'm an X3, aren't I? I should be. Yeah, I'm not going to be long for... Yeah, X3, that's great. Okay, so I'm level 11. Okay, so we've got a while to go before we actually do the old newer stuff. But, yeah. Should be okay. Well, that's just grand, isn't it?
Kill them all!
Okay, so this is a completely different part of the map. Interesting indeed. So we'll do this. Souls bound in eternity.
I think I see something.
Right, before I continue as well, I want to equip that belt. Right. I can't believe you haven't got much gear. So why not? We'll give you that. Hopefully that'll apply to your pet as well. What else? Radiance. Conscious. That's really my sort of thing, but no. Oh, healing received. No, I don't need that. I'll go for that instead. So that is... When I'm rendered unconscious, I blast out Holy Radiance, so it's healing. Which is what we're doing now. And it deals more healing, which is great. 10% ability over effects, that's good. Over soul +2, yeah. So what's my stats? So my might is now 20. That's good, so that's going to be really handy in dialogue choices. That's what I needed with the dragon. So I wonder if he's still there in the next expansion. Fingers crossed he is, and then I can go back and sort that out. Not sure if that quest has failed or not. I'll have to check my channel. Seems to be okay. Oh, nice. Construction's done at the keep. So I only have 3 more things to build now. So, I'm going to go for the Botanical Garden. And then that's it.
What's this?
Movement rates increase. 0.2 isn't great. I could probably do better than that.
So much for you.
Aye?
Wow, okay. It's got 2 shins of 1.
Well,
It's just broken ribs, that's not good.
I'll see what I can find.
Nothing there, okay. Anything around there? I think we're all going to carry on. Okay, so this will probably be relevant in the quest later. I can't see this just being a dungeon for the sake of having those little monsters. No. I think there's something going on there that we'll need to know about later. let's carry on our merry way. So now we can go to Elmshore. So we need to do that to get here. So let's see what awaits us down this way. 12 hours. Your party is considered high level for the content of Elmshore. There's, no, I'm going to stay standard. If you want the greatest challenge, then yeah, I don't want the greatest challenge. No. No, I don't like level scaling. I think wrong, like, yes, it can sort of... I say it keeps content relevant. I hate this idea that all content has to be mechanically relevant. It's like, is the content relevant? I mean, it's more like World of Warcraft. It's like, no, there's no such thing as irrelevant content. It's still relevant if you haven't seen it. It doesn't matter how high level you are. It doesn't matter how far you surpass the content. If you've not seen it, it's relevant to you because it's still new. Yeah, just to see it, just to experience it, just to look at it, it's still relevant.
So much for you.
Be strong, Ella.
No prisoners!
Yeah,
What is it?
I'm gonna have to rest because otherwise Alotha will die. Healing received. Sorry, movement rather. Okay. As you sleep, you are buoyed and buffeted by the vagaries of dreams. They tumble and thresh about you and fill your mind's eye with pale, glittering motes. They resolve into a light snowfall and a biting northerly wind. You recognize the mountains of the White Marsh rising around you, and you shiver. You see Starwater a few miles away, quiet and still, but for a few curling streams of smoke rising from the chimneys. Durgan's battery is perched above, its shadow stretching into the valley. Above it all, you hear a deep, slow rhythm. At first it sounds like distant drumming, but then it grows louder, cracking through the dry air, booming from the mountain peaks. It builds until you feel it reverberating beneath your feet. Go to Stalwart. You head towards the village, but soon the shaking ground halts your progress. Each thud becomes louder, faster than the next. Thunder echoes on the mountain tops as great sheets of ice and snow tumble down the slopes. The rhythm keeps building, shattering frozen lakes like crystal saucers. New ravines split through the mountains as old chasms fill with snow and scree. A rock slide buries Stalwart. Durgan's battery is shaken into rubble. Shadows rise over the mountains, the vanguard of a massed army. You flee. You tumble from the foothills bound across the Deerwood, feeling the rumble of the advancing army the whole while. I'll barricade myself in Cadnua. Cadnua rises from the forest, its mended walls reaching out to like a pair of strong arms. Barricade yourself into the great hall as the pounding grows closer still. It rattles the foundations of the keep, and just as the masonry begins shaking, you hear an unholy battle cry coming from the courtyard. The ceiling collapses and sends a cascade of bricks and beams onto your head. You struggle to wakefulness, kicking at the bedding knotted around your legs. As you shake free of the last bonds of sleep, you hear a voice whisper in a language you've never heard, and you see an image of 100 eyes, shifting, staring eyes. You awaken feverishly warm and covered in sweat, so I wonder if that's a whale. Well, they are in Stalwart. So, that'll be the White March. So we've had visions of an army. We've tried to hide from it, even in Caed Nua. But it is no use. So that's still a valid quest. At least for the time being.
Of course.
Let's continue following the road. Right, there we are. So if we want to, that's the road to wherever. Oh, actually, no, we can't go any further. That doesn't go anywhere. Well, that's good, isn't it?
So much for you.
Hey, traveler. What happened? Forgetful. So careless. Cuts some of my knuckles from morning's practice. The still guys, they smelled the blood on me. Thought they found their next meal. They were almost correct. You are known to us, Watcher. We know you have treated others honestly, fairly. And I have needed someone trustworthy to finish my mission. Please still allow me to attend your words. At least ease the pain. Your intentions are kind, but I must embrace my suffering. Ready my soul for its next journey. This must be delivered to my order. Take it. It needs to be carried to the celestial sapling. Give this to my brothers. They will reward you. Do not open it. Contents are for my brothers only. If the seal is broken there, you'll... I died. Okay. I will stow the missive.
How may I help?
I don't know why they're acting like that.
Well,
Well, that was quick. Oh, goody more. I knew I spoke too soon. And of course there's going to be more around there, isn't there?
Thing isn't doing the job.
Of course, that monk is down. Why am I not surprised?
Wish I could have done something.
This is important. No prisoner. Brave thou shalt not believe.
Why do we just pick spots to fight where the trees cover it up?
well,
Eh, dear. So a quick save as well. What's around this way? Ooh, a circle. That's always nice. I don't know if I mentioned before, but Fulvano, at least his like treasure hunt stuff, continues in the next Pillars game, which is good. Let's have some conspiracy mind if we can, please. Electron star, no mind. Oh, what about new water ability? Dominion of the Sleepers. Drawing upon their power to enhance all of his or her attributes. Nice. Let's have some healing. Come on, man. They are not screwing around, are they? So it looks like it's like most of our attacks. Right, take out the extra guard.
Fear no one.
Get yourself if you can, that'd be great. So strikes. He is down, the pet's down. This is gonna be a really slow fight for Civil Lives, so let's not bother with that then, shall we? Yes, rushing into that combat was probably not the best move, and again I was hidden behind a tree, so that was great. So I'm a quick save. Yeah. In Pillars 2, like I've heard that like I swear I mentioned this before, but yeah, the load times are like really bad. Like this game is horribly optimized. Playing this on the HDD, I don't remember like load times being that bad, but yeah, apparently the load times are really bad on hard drives. So anyone who is playing this, just be wary of the load times because yeah, that ain't fun. Right, let's try this again. Yeah, if you could be so kind as just a little bit please. Could that be grand? Thank you. Right, let's have some tentacles now. Yeah, a lot of these are free ammo and he's stunned. And he's got very low health there. Okay, let's use some spells. What can I use? Flame Impeller? Classic. Increasing the offense, is that it? Sagani, go after that flame light if you could. That's better, this is much better. Oh no. Cleansing flame. On that one there, please. Let's bring out all the big ones. Quickly. I'm not healing you if we go now. Perhaps I might have to actually. So we've just pulled a load of enemies. That's always fun, isn't it? I'm stunned. Great, yeah, this is gonna be a piss taking up. Yeah, right, let's load the save again. How do I quick load? 1 second. 1 fucking second. Right. Right. So you can't quickly load or quickly save in the middle of combat. So what's the point of calling it quick save and quick load? If you can't do it in the middle of a fight, you know, where it's going to matter the most, when can you do it?
Just a few scratches.
Yeah, this fight's a loss. Because we pulled an enemy. Charmed it to go in a completely different direction. Now, if it was under the frightened effect, I could understand that. It wasn't. I've loaded the wrong save. Yep. I think we best get to Twin Elms. In fact, yeah. Oh, quick save, quick load doesn't actually work. I'm just being silly. I accept wholeheartedly that I am overreacting. I am just tired. I've had a very busy day today. It's been a very productive day. One of my most productive days at work, in fact. But Christ, am I ready for this break? I really am. In fact, I might be able to end on a level up. Excuse me. So where the fuck do we go then? Oh, do we have to go down this way? Across the bridge? If there's a fight here, I'm not going to be happy. I want to finish this off today.
Anyone suspected of treachery must be reported at once.
What's going on with his arm there?
Good, you have come. You have heard of the recent defections from our order caused by this apostate in Kratom.
Yes, I have.
This is a dangerous woman whose lies spread like plague. She inspires chaos, sows conflict. Because of these unusual circumstances, I am speaking to all our initiates personally to ensure there is no more dissension.
You mean because she was one of us?
Who she was no longer matters. If her following continues to grow, there will be war, and all our work will be undone. You were recruited from Kratom, were you not? You must have known this heretic woman, Yavara.
Yavara, okay. You may have met a few times.
And what was your opinion of her?
She seemed respectable at the time.
It seems we all had the wrong impression. I am trusting you to remain loyal to the gods in this. If you do not, you will have greater powers than me to answer to. But you will answer to me as well.
I understand, Your Eminence. Ooh. I now can go to Hearthsong. 12 hours. That's doable. So yeah. I think if I committed, I probably could have done all of this game before we went on holiday. But that's not to say that I'd want to rush it, or it's a particularly...
Tread carefully, Estremor.
Or that it would be a good idea to. But yeah, we are fairly close to the end. Another fugitive from the burning city. The 6 tribes of Air Glanpath welcome you to Twin Elms, where you lies the Hearthsong district. You are free to explore it, but do not let your feet stray into other districts. Those are forbidden to Estremor. What can you tell me about Twin Elms? The city is sacred to all Glanpathans, as it is the place where our ancestors first encountered the Builders. That fated meeting turned our people from generations of wandering to a permanent home among the Builders' relics. The Builders commanded us to settle here. They allowed us the unique privilege to live among their structures here. It is the only place in near Glanpath where this is permitted. The sacred city is divided into 4 districts. Hearthsong, the Commons District, Old Song, the site of our temples, Selm's Reach, over the Dilimangan, and Druids, and the Burial Isle, which is the most sacred place of this city. Let's hear about Hearthsong. Yes, here is Hearthsong. It's a place where Glampathans and Estramoran may gather together. It's also the site of the Passage of the Six, where our tribal leaders, the Anapatha, meet. That way is the market. Go to your purse there. Own bargains like a Glanpathan. And if you need a place to stay, follow up to the east. There you will find the way to the Celestial Sapling. What temples lie in Old Song? There is Dunefrost, which is dedicated to Remagand. Ramagand. I think it was. A group of pale elves from the frozen Southlands arrived not long ago to oversee it. There is also the Nest, the Temple of Halia, in Galawain's Moor, a den of beasts dedicated to the Hunter God. The route to the Burial Isle also lies that way. Over Elm's Reach. There lies Tir Evron, one of the early towers of the Builders, still in perfect condition. 2 great elms twine around it. Even the mightiest works of the gods protect the works of the Builders. 2 Delongan sisters dwell there here. The Hall of Warriors stands at the other end of the district. Rumor has it that the Amanfath Simok of 3 Stilgar is still there. Is there now. Elm's Reach is also where the Druids keep their halls. There are many ovates of the Golden Grove, and the Ethnic Knoll of the Blood Sands. They shudder the brutal sacrifices of the Ethnic Knoll, but High Ovate Irona is just as powerful in her own way. Do you know anything about the Burial Isle? It's the place where our Anampatha are laid to rest among the stones placed by the Builders. They say the souls of some of the Anampatha linger there still. The way lies to Oldstone. It's the holiest place in all of Twin Elms. That's all I want to know about the city. Where is it forbidden to enter the districts of Twin Elms? Twin Elms is a sacred city, built where the first keepers of the stone met the Builders. It exists alongside the works of the Builders, and it's the only place in all of Airglanpath where it is permitted to set foot among these sacred places. Those tomorrow, however, do not have prospects for the stone here. These words trigger something in your memory. You see an image of a perfect cube of Adra. Just as quickly, the image fades. A leader of one of the tribes could give you permission into the city. Only an Amapath, Bethwell, is present in the passage of the Six today, and she has her own troubles. I haven't heard of the Keepers of the Stone. The oldest of the 6 tribes. Up the stairs, into the passage of the 6, this is where Anapath gather. Bethwell, the Anapath of the Guided Compass, can tell you more. Who are the builders? You know them as the Ingwithans. To us, they are the builders. Creators of the sacred places that we guard to this day. With your words in mind. Christy keeps your visit brief. Word as though it's that years that the riots have ended and the gates of Devan's Bay have opened once more. Okay. Yes, that's
Never
another
been out
one.
this way before. Hard to believe it's the same country.
Okay. And this is where I'm going to end it. So we've done the majority of the stuff we need. With the Act 2. But yeah, there's lots to see here, and we will continue to see it in the next part in about a week or so's time. Thank you ever so much for watching. Oh, I might do another part tomorrow. Who knows? We'll see. Alright, take care, and ta-da for now. Thanks ever so much for watching this far as well. Yeah, but you've seen the Animancy Hearings. And that's pretty much the big thing. So now it's all smooth sailing, and, well, essentially wrapping up the game, even with the White March Part 2. But that will come soon enough. Alright, thanks very much. Take care, and ta-ta for now.